Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Politics, pickets, and strike pay. Day 13 of the UAW strike, and union workers may soon start feeling the pinch of being off the job, all while a past president prepares to make a campaign stop. Great to have you with us here as we hit the noon hour on Local 4 News. I'm Jason Colthorne.
And I'm Rhonda Walker. Today is the first day UAW workers on strike stop getting checks from Detroit's 3 automakers. But as Rod Maloney reports live from Solidarity House, they're not leaving the picket lines empty-handed.
No, they will not be. They get their $500 a week, and the first checks for the first 13,000 strikers will come out today. In the meantime, we're here at Solidarity House because General Motors is actually going to be meeting with the UAW here today to do what could be some main table bargaining. Certainly, there is hope that they can get something moving. Sean Fain told us yesterday that he felt that things had kind of slowed down a little bit, even at Ford, which he thought was a little bit troubling. But, of course, the presidential candidate visits have sort of taken over everything. Well, we'll take you to the video yesterday. President Biden, Joe Biden, going out to Van Buren Township, to the Belleville plant out there, the parts plant, where he spent time on the line with those UAW workers, standing on the line with them. He was very friendly, very happy to be there with them. But there is any number of back and forth sessions with this, because Donald Trump first said that it was his idea. He first announced it on the 18th. The president did it over the weekend and then came to town first. And now Donald Trump is going to be coming here tonight to Michigan. And a couple of things that have come about this. Donald Trump put out a number of statements, but this one is perhaps the most biting in terms of his criticism of Joe Biden's visit yesterday to the picket line. He said, quote, that Joe Biden's draconian and indefensible electric vehicle mandate will annihilate the U.S. auto industry and cost countless thousands of auto workers their jobs, with Biden, it doesn't matter what hourly wages they get. In 3 years, there'll be no auto worker jobs, as they will all come out of China and other countries. With me, there'll be jobs and wages like you've never seen before. Our economy will grow, end quote. So that's what the president said. Now, we had a chance to talk to Sean Fain about all of this yesterday, and this is what he said about Donald Trump and his visit to Metro Detroit.
He was quoted saying, blaming the union, blaming the UAW for what was wrong with the auto companies. I go back to 2015 when he was running the first time, and he was talking about doing a rotation, getting rid of our jobs, moving them somewhere else where they pay less money and have us scrambling for our jobs back. I mean, I don't, I find it odd he's going to go to a non-union business to talk to union workers, but I don't think he gets it, and that's up to people to decide, though.
Now, President Trump, or former President Trump, is going to be speaking on the east side in Clinton Township tonight at an auto parts manufacturer, supplier out there, and he will be at 8 o'clock tonight. Certainly, Local 4 will be there for his remarks to hear what he has to say. Certainly interesting developments here to have this strike spreading as it is now, and have the presidential candidates in here wanting to get involved in that as well. So we have a lot more that we're going to be talking about in this vein, particularly joint venture plans. That'll be coming up later on Local 4 News. But for now, Rod Maloney reporting live from downtown Detroit. Back to you.
All right, Rod, thank you. And a UAW strike near Flint took a very scary turn after a car plowed right through picketers that were lining right near the entrance and exit of a building. The search is still on for that driver. We're told that 5 UAW picketers were injured outside of a General Motors plant in Swartz Creek outside of Flint. Police say that the driver was a worker and who drove through the picket line to leave the plant. Those injured are expected to be okay, and the picket has not stopped.
A warning for homeowners in Oakland County. The sheriff's office putting out an alert about high-end burglaries in several communities.
We believe it's a targeted type of thing, and it's from folks well outside of Michigan. So know that many agencies are working on this, and a lot of resources are being poured into this. But things you should do is be more aware of your surroundings, be aware of what's happening in your neighborhood. Make sure if you have an alarm, you set your alarm, lock your doors, lock your windows, lock your car. do those things that don't make you an attractive target.
We're going to talk more with the sheriff when we have more on this story in later editions of Local 4 News.
Orchard Lake Schools has fired St. Mary's Prep head baseball coach Matt Petrie over a violation of the employee conduct policy. School officials say that the issue centers around communication that he had with students. The district says that the policy requires that outside communication with students via phone or text are solely for school and education related matters. We've also learned that the Oakland County Sheriff's Office is investigating, although we do not know the specifics of that investigation.
Some chilling video to show you. New body cam video capturing the moment a state police trooper is dragged by a car in Jackson County Sunday morning. The trooper was trying to make an arrest during a traffic stop when the man in question jumped back in the car and took off with the trooper hanging out the driver's side window. Listen to this.
Sit right there. Stop moving around. Stop making phone calls. Stop doing everything. I am dealing with you right now. Set your phone on the trunk. Okay. Set it on the trunk. I'm not going to tell you again. Sit right there. Hey, what did I just say? Put it in park. You have it in the car. Stop it. Let me out. Stop it. Let me out. Now.
Just chilling audio there. After about 3/4 of a mile, she fell off. That trooper has minor injuries and will recover, thankfully. The suspect, Tavion Beasley, faces several charges, including assault with intent to murder.
This morning, the Royal Oak Police Department announced a new partnership to help people and families that are struggling with substance abuse. The department is teaming up with Families Against Narcotics to launch a Come Back Quick response team. The team will perform outreach at the homes of individuals and families impacted by substance abuse, offering resources like connecting them to treatment programs, recovering coaching services, and also harm reduction services.
We'll leave Narcan and fentanyl test strips behind, and we'll start to build a relationship with them. We'll let them know that we're not there to arrest them. We're not there to investigate their drug use or their history with substance use. And then we'll come back and we'll check on them in a week or 2 weeks.
This partnership, Royal Oak is actually joining more than 20 other Detroit police departments that has a Come Back Quick response team. Cities like Sterling Heights and Roseville, Ferndale, Waterford and Taylor and Troy are just some of the communities that have also teamed up with Families Against Narcotics.
You know what else would be awesome to come back quick is the warm weather.
Oh, I think Ashley has that for us. Maybe not today, but soon.
Absolutely. It is so close, you can almost feel it. And so we do have the overcast skies at this hour. It's much like where we've been over the last couple days as we take a live look outside. 66 in Detroit, Howell reporting 63, Pontiac at 61, and Adrian 64. Winds are out of the east, close to about 10 miles per hour. So it's a little breezy out there and expected to get just a little gustier as we head into tonight and tomorrow. But we have that moisture with the upper level disturbance off to our west, pumping in that cloud cover. Though right now, maybe a drip or drop, but not much in the way of rain showers. And it's going to stay that way throughout the daylight hours. So the rest of the afternoon, we're hovering in the mid to upper 60s, topping out around 67. The better chance for rain will be moving in when we get past sunset. So if you're heading out to Comerica Park, first pitch is at 6:40. We're in that final stretch of the home games, and we'll be in the mid 60s, even low 60s by game's end. And I think overall we stay dry, but with a lot of cloud cover. Tomorrow we take a slight dip in temperatures, and that comes with scattered showers. But look at that nice rise that we have. We're welcoming 80 for the start of October. So quite a warm up with our temperature trend. We'll time out exactly when the rain pushes out of here with an hour-by-hour look in just a few minutes.